Good evening and welcome to Walk-Ons. We're live here tonight with Texas High Takeover tonight. We're going to be joined in a little while by Texas High softball coach Robbie Hatfield and Coach McClure from the baseball team. But first off, we've got a crew here with us tonight at the table. We've got the best roofer in I was gonna say Miller County, but in all of the Texarkana area.
I would just say in the whole region. Maybe Texas, the world.
The Arklatex.
Yes, the Arklatex.
Yeah, Mr. Tony Langford.
That includes Louisiana too.
Absolutely. And then we've got the man of the hour right here, the Tiger King himself. Hadn't been here for a while.
It's been a while.
It's the same one you saw on Netflix.
No. That's a whole different show. No, I'm happy to be here. I'm glad y'all are covering a little Texas High tonight. We're excited.
Absolutely. And then Frank Sides, the main man of the hour.
That's right. If you guys tuned in last night, you got to hear me and Brian's exclamatory calls to finish that game off. What a game.
That's right. And then we rounded off with our main man Jay down here. How's it going?
Good to be here. I did want to ask Frank if his phone rang today from ESPN or Fox Sports, or because I heard that you might be expecting some phone calls.
It did not.
Absolutely.
I think it's possible.
Well, go ahead and give him your phone number.
On air? Yeah, let's do that.
Well, we've had local high school softball and baseball teams on for the last couple weeks, and then we've finally gotten down to have Texas High on tonight, and that's
bottom of the barrel. Y'all scraped down.
No. We saved the best for last. Morgan told us that we had to make sure to get you on here, and so he said save the best for last.
There you go.
So no, just some scheduling conflicts with the coaches and all, but we're glad to have both of them, and also some players from the softball and baseball team going to join us here in a little while, But it took us 2 months to meet Billy's asking price in Bitcoin.
That's right. The check finally showed up.
Absolutely.
$0 and 0 cents.
I'm still waiting on mine. But before we get started, we've had some good baseball this week so far, and softball this week. We've had some softball games canceled or not played, but we've had some good baseball played this week as well. And so just going to run through a couple of the scores real quick, and if anybody was there or has anything to say about some of these things, chime in where you can. But Arkansas High had a big win last night over one of the best teams in the state, the Whitehall Bulldogs. They beat them 14-6 last night.
I didn't see any of that, but I'll tell you about Arkansas. Arkansas High front-loaded their schedule heavy on the front end and played a lot of good teams and took some hickeys. But I think, now they're getting into those games that they can win, and it's going to pay off for them, in their conference for sure, and it showed last night there.
Absolutely, and I don't have any stats from the game. We did get them out today, but I don't have them in front of me.
Ty Wade was winning pitcher.
Absolutely.
14-6. That's a rough day.
Yeah, and so it must have been a great game because I text Coach Barry, about 2 or 3 hours before they played, and I said, hey, man, give me those stats after the game. And before we even got done at PG last night, he said, hey, I already sent them to you. So, it's a big game if the coach, before he even gets on the bus, is sending them to you. So congratulations to them. And so Arkansas High last night was off due to some COVID issues. Not sure if it was with their team or the other team, but they were off last night. Tell us a little bit about Texas High this week.
Texas High, we had a big win last night. Played our second district game. We were at Pine Tree, and we got up 9-1. We had a 7-run inning in about the third inning that distanced it. Our pitching faltered just for 1 inning, but Luke Smith threw a really good ball game, 5 innings. I think 6 hits, 5 Ks. Really threw well, and bats were hot last night. We hit a lot of them. Right to some guys, but had a RBI double by Nate Minnie. I'm going off of just memory. Let's see. Ben DePriest was 2 for 4. Sellers 1 for 3, I believe. Even the pale redheaded kid got a hit last night. So they had a good game, and they came and scored. They scored in the in the 6th, they scored, I think, 4 runs on us and got back to 9-5. I think it ended up being 9-6 was the final score. But really good to go out and get that second win. It's going to set up a big game this Friday night. I think Tiger Vision Gameday will have it, and it's going to be 2 2-0 teams in district, and should be a really, really good ball game.
Absolutely. And then another big win last night for the Texas High softball team.
They always play the same time as we do, so I don't get a chance to watch it. They finished a little bit before us, so I saw a lot of those girls, and I think it was 13-2. They had a big win on the road. Good for them to get going in district as well. Absolutely.
And then across town, let's see, LE Baseball had a big win last night over Pittsburgh. And they won 4-3. Their softball team did not play just like PG's softball team, but then kind of the talk of the town this morning was that game last night at PG. And so you said that you saw a little bit of it today.
And I had the opportunity to watch it online because I did have some tasks that I had to do, and they weren't even from my wife. They were from my dad. And so I caught the first part of the game, and when I turned it off, it was 3-0. Pleasant Grove was down. And then when I turned it back on a little bit later, it was in the 7th inning. Things were tied up, and I was like, wow, this is going to be a great game. Finishing up, and I do want to, share with y'all that definitely had a lot of people, tell me thanks for, game day putting it on like I was the one who did it. But I mean, it is a great thing that we're doing for our community. Just sort of pat ourselves on the back. But I mean, because not everybody can always make every game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just being able to see that effort and to see Traveler, come in, off the bench, rope one into center field, win the game. I mean, that's a pretty sweet memory for him.
Hey, that's how I lost the game this weekend. So.
Ooh. I'll tell you, I didn't see much of it other than y'all's final call, but I did go and get a chance to watch them live. I drove down to Hallsville and watched Pleasant Grove and Pine Tree play Saturday night, and man, really love the way I got a chance to kind of stand over near the dugout and really love the way that Riley Fincher coaches and just his ball club plays hard for him. You may not make a play or so, but everybody's giving it 100%, and I know a lot of those kids, and it's really good to see Tucker Anderson get some big hits. Brock Bearden, I saw him hit one of the hardest balls I've seen contact-wise. I mean, it was a loud out, but and then Kason Head, I think, is having a great year, and just several of those guys. But seeing Traveler, get that big hit in the 8th inning, I guess it was. But looking at that box score, seeing PG down 6-2, and then scoring 2, and then scoring 2, late in the 7th inning. That must have been a really good game to be at. So I can't wait to go back and watch it.
One thing I can tell you about PG, them boys have all had good coaches all the way through. I mean, I know nearly every one of them kids, and they've been coached since day one, and you can tell, I mean, they're refined out there on the baseball field. They do the little things very well.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed last night is they didn't make a single mistake. Yeah. And when the pitcher, Alex Galvin, got himself in a little bit of trouble, he buckled down, leaned on his curveball, and kept him in the game. That was an awesome baseball game last night.
His older brother wasn't near as big as him. His older brother was a left-handed pitcher that would wear you out on the mound. So
in games like that, in a game earlier this year that Texas High had, where they can come back and get that
Pittsburgh,
win.
maybe.
I mean, those are going to be the games that the coaches can go back to when they get into those tough district games and even tougher playoff games.
I think that was like an 11-inning game that you're talking about in Pittsburgh. I don't know who it was against, but I mean.
And so I mean, from that standpoint, I'm very, very happy with our baseball teams here locally. We're going to have some fun things to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And the stand-up athletes, I mean, like we talked about last night at PG and some other games that we've seen so far, you can come back and win big games like that when you have well-coached, disciplined kids, just like last night, like Frank hit on. I mean, you didn't see anyone holding their head down or slinging their arms or throwing bats or in the dugout.
Or panicking or trying to do too much.
And we've seen that at other area games as well. And when it comes down to big games, playing competition that may be better than you or may not be, you're just not playing up to that, that discipline
And
is gonna help you stay in those games and even win some of them.
To hit on that point, a few of those coaches that I've gotten a chance to coach with over the years, Frank Halter, Steve Long, some of those guys, they always told these kids, when I walk into a ballpark and come over to your game, it's +6, -6. I don't want to be able to tell whether you're up 6 or whether you're down 6. I just want to see you giving it everything you got until the final out.
Absolutely.
You know, and baseball is that sport. It don't really matter if the team. It always matters if the other team's better than you. You go out there and you play yourself. If you play your best game, pretty much you throw the ball, you catch the ball, you hit the ball, and sometimes you can go out there and compete and just do the little things well, and you can beat teams that are more talented than you are.
Yeah, and absolutely. And we just got to see a good game last night. I mean, a lot of props to Paris because they came out and played a well-executed game as well.
They did, and
so,
they did it against a pitcher. Their closer, I can't remember his name, he moved in from center field, all legs, throwing what looked to me low 90s, all arms, all legs, and with a perceived velocity probably a little higher than the actual velocity.
Absolutely.
And they hung in there and made some great at-bats.
Yep. And so, well, that was your recap of the area games so far tonight. And in just a minute, we're going to be joined by head softball coach for Texas High, Robbie Hatfield, and a couple of his players. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. Make sure you like and share the post and share this video all over Facebook so Texas High can get some love tonight. But we appreciate the Tiger King for being on with us in this first segment. And we're going to take a short commercial break. Then we'll be back with some Texas High softball.
How do you measure success? In points? In wins? Or trophies? At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in our community support, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield, we're your shelter.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Brian Bolt in Texarkana.
Welcome back to our Wednesday edition of Texarkana Gameday. We're live here at Walk-Ons, and tonight Texarkana Gameday is taken over by Texas High. Right now we're joined by head coach for the Texas High softball team, Robbie Hatfield, and his senior first and third baseman, Molly Johnson. Welcome to the set, guys.
Hey.
Thank you.
So, Coach, before we get started, take a moment and just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, kind of your history, where you've been, and who you are.
Well, Brian, I've been at Texas High for 42 years. So coached just about every sport except football. They go 7 days a week.
So you were smart.
That's why I chose the other sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's only a matter of time before that softball field has his last name on it.
Yeah, hey.
Coach, you started the year I was born.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, 79. But yeah, just Texarkana moved here in 79, and TISD's been great to me over the years, and like I said, I've coached baseball, girls basketball, track, cross country, volleyball, and softball. I played a lot of fast pitch growing up. I went to a small country school, and we didn't have baseball. We played softball, fast pitch softball. So, been around softball for many years also.
Yeah. And so is this your first coaching job, and you just been here your whole career?
Yes, I graduated in '79 and came here and took the job in August.
I got you. Okay. Well, so Texarkana has been home for a long time for you.
Yes.
Man, I haven't lived here very long. I know Tony's been here for a long time. Were you born and raised here?
No, I've been here 17 years.
Okay.
I've been here that long. I come here from Gilman.
I was born and raised here.
Okay. And so we've got a little mixture. I've only been here for 2 years, but man, what a diverse place this is with all the different schools and having the 2 states and stuff like that. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of things change around here since.
Yeah, in 42 years, a lot of things have changed. But one thing about it, these students at Texas High, they're the best. Like I said, I've coached boys and girls and enjoyed all of it. And I think I started the softball program 28 years ago.
Okay.
And but these young ladies are just outstanding. Got some talent, but more than that, great young ladies.
All right. And then we're also joined by senior first. She told me first and third base.
Yes, but she's our starting first baseman.
Okay, starting first base.
I asked her, and she just said the corners.
Yeah, she can do either one.
You got to be tough to play on the corners. So Molly Johnson, she's a senior, so welcome here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and so we ask everybody that comes on here, scary COVID, coming into your senior year, not really sure if you're going to have it. Last year getting canceled after a very, short season. But tell us a little bit how you feel about being thankful that you actually are getting to play this season.
Oh, I'm beyond grateful that we get to play this season. Like, not getting to have last season as a junior, like, that's whenever everything picks up for, like, commitment and, like, going to college for it and stuff. Not having, like, that season and the start of that summer ball, it, like, breaks your heart.
Yeah, they actually recruit more during that season than they do your senior season.
Yes, sir. And, like, just seeing our seniors last year not get to have their last season, that was hard. Yeah,
and Coach kind of hit on that a little bit. How was it for you as a coach last year, seeing your seniors who have worked so hard?
Well, like Molly said, it was a difficult time. I guess last week, a year ago, is when they shut us down, and we didn't even get in district. But we did get 17 games in. We got 3 tournaments in and a couple individual games. So the thing was, like Molly said, we had 2 seniors last year. And I mean, just no senior night. They didn't get to finish. Both of them good ball players. One of them's playing at Galveston College now. It was a tough time. And then 2, we were young. We had freshmen and sophomores, and of course they didn't get that experience that they needed. But like Molly said, it was a difficult year.
Right. And Molly, so have you decided what you want to do next year? Are you going to play somewhere next year, or just go to college, or what are you going to do?
I actually committed this last fall to play softball for Central Baptist College in Conway, Arkansas.
Okay, yeah, I know where CBC is. Yeah, absolutely. And so, what's been your favorite memory, at least so far, up to now? Hopefully, you make many more memories. But playing softball, let's narrow it down to softball over your years. What's been if you could pick one out, tell us about a favorite memory that you got.
I would, but I just blank, just
put her on the spot.
Put you on the spot.
There's just so many different times.
Well, that's good. That's good. And so, playing for Coach Hatfield, what has he meant to you over the last couple of years, playing for him and knowing that next year he's not going to be able to go to CBC with you? Or maybe he is. I don't know. Are you going to? You going up there to take the job up there?
No. I'm happy where I'm at.
I just feel like I'm always going to have just that support behind me here at Texas High.
Yeah. Well, Texas High is a good place. I know I was lucky to go and do some football this year over there, and man, just what a great place it is. And so no wonder you've been there for so long, and no wonder you're going to miss it.
Her and Frank were talking a while ago. I think we actually did her commitment video, didn't we?
Okay.
Yes, y'all did that commitment video.
I got you. All right.
Well, when it comes between the bat and the glove, which would you rather have in your hand?
Ooh. I like my bat whenever it's hot, but I really love the glove. Like, I love playing defense.
Well, it takes a special person to play first base. Outside the pitcher and the catcher, you're going to touch the ball the most.
Yes, sir.
And, definitely a lot of pressure, comes into the air because not every throw, pardon me, is going to be right on the money and not,
Yes, sir.
And so what have you done to be able to, I'm going to say master, being able to play both corners?
Well, it's just kind of like the way you walk into the game. Like, you have to come in, like, not every throw is going to be perfect, so you expect a bad throw at first base, and you always keep your feet moving, because if your feet get still, there's no way you're going to get some of the bad throws you're going to get. So just have the mentality, just like, I expect the bad throw. Because if you expect a bad throw, then the good one's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that one. Let's do that one again.
I haven't watched a lot of softball because I have 5 boys, so I don't have time to go watch it a whole lot.
Yeah.
But one thing I noticed that y'all get to first base really quick. Playing third base over there, I can't imagine how fast you have to get rid of the ball.
Oh, yeah. Like, just like with Lauren Allred, like, she's an amazing third baseman. She is so fast with it, and you've got to have an arm on it, too.
I've known Lauren all her life. She's always, hey, true story, 12-year-old baseball. She played baseball all her life, not softball. 12U, she led the league in home runs against the boys.
I believe that.
She had, I think, 11 or 12. I mean, it was
That's
a bunch.
awesome.
Well, we're gonna make sure we ask her about it, because she's going to be coming up here next. But Molly, look, we appreciate you joining us. We are going to let you get off of here in just a second, but Coach is going to come back and join us with 2 more players. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with more Texas High softball. We are back with more Texas High girls softball, and we have joining us tonight, or this afternoon, I guess, Molly Fisher, freshman, and Lauren Aldred, junior. And I guess, Tony, I'll let you go ahead and toss up the first question to Lauren.
Yeah, I've known these girls for a while, both of them actually. I watched Lauren play against the boys her whole life, and what I remember most about Lauren is 12U baseball, leading the league in home runs against the boys. And how many did you hit that year, Lauren? Just wondering.
I think it was double digits, but
I remember 12, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, it was on the, I think, 225, something like that, and maybe 250. I can't remember. And leading the league against the boys at 12 years old, pretty impressive. Hey, her brothers are the same way, so I mean, it runs in the family.
Well, Lauren, you're the shortstop and third baseman, and I was told mainly third base, I guess.
Yes, sir.
And Molly, before you, was doing a little bragging on how quick you're able to get it over to first base. What do you do in your preparation to be able to get that ball and then track it back to first?
I just think about fielding the ball one step at a time and then trying to make a good throw over there.
Well, I can't imagine me wanting to play third base in softball. to me, the ball's coming at me a little quicker than what I remember.
It helps me not have enough time to think about it. That's what I like about it.
And that's probably a good thing. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about, and we ask every girl this, so it's coming to you next. Last year, the season was cut short because of COVID. How did that impact you? And then tell us about you coming into this season. I'm assuming there was some excitement. Just tell us about that journey.
Well, the season ended short was sad, but it also gave me time to use that free time to get better in practice every day and try to just work out and get faster. So building up to that helped me get more excited for this season, and then it brought a lot of excitement once we got to start playing again.
Gotcha.
Lauren, I might not be remembering this right, but didn't you get offensive MVP as a freshman?
Yes, sir.
That's rare.
Yeah. Very. Yeah. And so, Molly, share with us you coming in as a freshman and making an impact on the team.
Well, originally I was very nervous, but my teammates, they really accepted me, and they made me feel welcome, so I'm a little more comfortable now.
Did you have any apprehensions? You didn't necessarily miss a high school season last year, but did you have any apprehensions of, is this season going to happen for me?
Oh, for sure. I didn't have a travel season last year, so I was kind of worried we wouldn't have one this year, but I'm glad we did.
And I've got here where you play shortstop and you pitch as well?
Yes, sir.
Which of those two do you prefer?
I like both equally. I mean, I like being in control of the game, but I also like backing up my pitchers.
Nothing wrong with that.
Molly's always been a great softball player, but if you look over at her dad and her brother over here, you have no idea how that happened.
That's not right.
So no, actually, I coached her brother a lot growing up through the years. He's a good kid and had to put up with her dad. So between the two of that, I've known both these girls quite a while.
Well, Coach, you mentioned that you've coached softball for 20 plus years, and I guess my first experiences seeing you coach was back in my Coke days and making sure that drinks were in the concession stand and I would stay and watch. To me, it takes a special coach for a freshman to say the team has accepted me. I mean, what do you think you do to allow your team to understand that a freshman can possibly benefit and help the team out?
Well, the girls know that that Coach Hatfield's going to put the best person out there, no matter if they're a freshman or if they're a senior. We're going to try to put the best person in the best position to hopefully be successful. And of course, Molly Johnson a while ago, and Lauren and Molly Fisher here, super individuals, work extremely hard. And Molly being a freshman, a lot of times that's tough to make the varsity. But she came in, worked extremely hard, playing shortstop, and then the pressure of pitching. Right now, she's 2-1 on the season, and she's got better every time out. And that's all Coach Hatfield asked. If they just be a little bit better, than they were the last time. And both these young ladies are outstanding individuals, but also very talented. Lauren here, right now, she's leading the team with 6 home runs, hitting .515. Molly here is 2-1 on the season pitching, is our shortstop. And also she's hitting .353 and has a inside the park home run. So she's got speed also. But this girl right here on my left, I'm going to tell you, I know that she's probably the best hitter in the state of Texas right now. I'd put her up against anybody.
I believe that.
And like the man said over here, he's watched her play years ago, and she's outstanding. She's committed to Louisiana Lafayette, is that correct?
Yes,
The thing is, I know that she'll be successful there too, because she's a great hitter and a tough third baseman, because like you said, playing third base is tough. And basically, you got to be right there in the batter's back pocket. And but Lauren has a good arm, good glove, and does an outstanding job.
Well, Lauren, what are your aspirations for the team as far as we know y'all want to get into make it past district. But
Playoffs.
what are your aspirations?
Well, I just want everybody to succeed in what they're trying to do, because if everybody works on perfecting one thing, then the whole team's going to come together and we're going to be pretty hard to beat.
See, you've been coached. I like that.
You're only as good as your weakest link, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Molly, I mean, coming from you, I mean, is there a point where you sort of have to know, hey, even though I'm the freshman, I'm gonna put my voice out there and share with the others, maybe to get the team right, because sometimes you're not gonna have a perfect game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know, like, just being in the field, like, with all my other teammates, like, I'll take control, especially being the shortstop. I'll tell them where the play is, how many outs we got, who's taking the bag. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I know that there's a lot of excitement, in Texarkana each year this time of the year for baseball and softball, and definitely wish y'all the best. Like I said, I've paid attention to Coach Hatfield for many, many years, and I know y'all are in great hands, and so definitely wish y'all the best. Tony, anything else that you?
Nah, I just enjoy watching y'all. Because I've been watching y'all since y'all were like 5. So I've enjoyed watching y'all grow up and continue and doing what you're doing, and it just keeps you busy, keeps you getting better at something, and go on to bigger and better things after high school. I'm looking forward to watching y'all.
Well, we're gonna take another break and come back with some Tiger baseball.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Walk-Ons. We're live tonight with Texas High Baseball. We're joined now by Coach McClure and the ugliest two on the baseball team. So, guys, welcome to the table tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us.
Coach, before we get started, just tell a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and kind of who you are.
Well, I grew up in Atlanta, Texas, about 30 minutes from here, and was fortunate to play baseball at Seminole Junior College, and then I played at University of Louisiana Lafayette. So I've been coaching for 23 years. My first coaching job was in Houston, kind of headed straight west from Lafayette and coached in Houston for 5 or 6 years, and then headed back up to Texas High. And this is my 17th year here at Texas High. So,
wow, and a lot of success.
I didn't realize you've been there that long.
I have been.
That's the year I moved here 17 years ago.
I always remember how long I've been here based on quarterbacks, and my first year was Ryan Mallett's sophomore year.
Okay.
So we had Ryan for 3, and then we had Nathan Sorensen for 3. So that's kind of how I keep things straight as far as how long I've been here and who's the quarterback when I got here.
I got you. Now, do you do any football?
I did for about 7 or 8 years. I was a varsity running back coach. Of course, we coach everything, 9th grade JV and varsity. But probably the last 3 years, it's been mainly baseball only.
I got you. Well, a lot of success that we've seen over the years, and you do a good job over there.
Well, I appreciate it, and I hope we just can continue it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I do have to ask, you've got an assistant, Coach Minnie, and you couldn't get him to come on tonight? Or did he feel like we didn't extend the invite?
His feelings are probably hurt right now. He's probably at home twiddling his thumbs, just wondering why he wasn't the center of attention tonight.
You know, knowing him, I figure that's exactly what he's thinking.
He's probably pouting, man, because he's not here.
I don't know if we could get him to talk if we brought him on here and stuck a microphone in his face.
He could probably have a lot. He talks a lot more than people think.
Once you get him going.
I hear you. And so to Coach's right over here, we've got the man with the best haircut on the team. And I think I said that about football, too. He has some really nice hair. And so we've got Jackson Halter over here.
Too many people can pull it off.
Absolutely. The senior catcher. And so, Jackson, you're going to Texas Tech. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
To play baseball. You and Ryan as well. And we've also got Ryan Sellers here. We both watched both of you during football season. A great football season, a great athletes. And now we're excited to see you play some baseball. And so,
yeah, if you're a Texas Tech fan, this is the set to watch right
absolutely,
now.
Absolutely. Y'all didn't wear orange or red, so what's going on?
I mean,
it was white out.
This is one of the only collared shirts I got in my closet.
When I told them they were coming on the show yesterday, I said, let's wear something nice. Let's look sharp. Kind of a button-up shirt if you have one. I don't want a sleeveless shirt or, anything like that. So they all look good. I'm proud of them.
Dude said, wear something nice so we get here, and he's in shorts. So
but all they're going to see
us from here up.
And so you got holes in your jeans.
You could have wore shorts.
I'm just glad they stayed in Texas.
That's right. That's right. So Jackson, your senior year's here, and how does it feel knowing that you're going to Texas Tech and going to be able to play next year?
Man, I'm just glad we got another year of baseball at high school because, everybody knows the deal last year about this time. We were going to Louisiana to play baseball, and we got sent back home, and that was it. We didn't have a junior season. I'm just blessed to be here and be able to talk about baseball and how it's going to be for the rest of this year.
Absolutely.
And next year's coming up.
Yeah, and so, Ryan, with you being a senior as well, so first off, are you guys rooming together?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Is this first you've heard of it?
Going to be trouble.
So knowing that you're going to the same place that Jackson is and knowing that you get to play, at least on into the future, how does it feel with your senior year being here?
I'm just glad. Just like Jackson said, we didn't get to play last year. We didn't get to finish our season, but we're here and make a run for them.
Yeah.
They've been playing together for a long time, too. They played together before high school, so they're going to go to high school, then go to college.
And sleeping in the same room.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. That's awesome, man. That's absolutely. Like being brothers, man.
Yeah, it is. And so congratulations to both of you, by the way, for getting to go somewhere and play baseball after high school. It's a big accomplishment. And so, Coach, they both hit on last year's season getting cut short by COVID. Tell us a little bit from your standpoint how that kind of, missing a year with some of your younger guys and and that kind of thing.
Well, it was tough, but like he said, we were actually driving to play in the airline tournament, and we get the phone call on I-49, and we turn around and come back. And, you know, in my mind, it was the weekend before spring break, and in my mind I was thinking we'll probably sit out a week, spring break, and everybody will sort everything out. We'll be right back at it the following week, and then a week goes by, then 2, then 3, and then, you know, it's kind of inevitable that it wasn't going to happen. So, but kind of what I tell everybody, everybody's in the same boat. It's not like it was just Texas High. Every school in the United States, you know, a lot of those kids, those seniors that you really feel bad for that missed their senior year. And kind of one of them that sticks out for me is Aaron Prince. He was a senior last year, and I think he would have had a really, really tremendous senior year. I think we played 10 games, and, you know, now he's in junior college, and he's hit 4 home runs through his first probably 15 games. And I think for him to showcase his talent, he was kind of one of those late bloomers that came on kind of a little bit late, but I was, for him, expecting a lot of them. So it was, you know, it was a difficult thing to deal with, but everybody was in the same boat.
I got you. Ryan, when we were sitting here getting prepared, we asked what position you played, and so from what we hear, you're about to take the mound. Is that right?
Yes, I did. We played the Evangel scrimmage. I was fine. The week after we played Evangel, I happened to get sick, so I lost the weight. I lost all my strength, so I'm gaining back. Arm strength, speed, bat speed, all that. So.
And for me, this kind of shows my age. I told him when the first time I saw him after he had gone through his illness or whatever, I said, "You look like JJ on Good Times." And his first question was, "Who's that?"
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's the hair.
I've never heard of JJ.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, we asked this to some of the softball players, and I'll let both of you answer it, but do you enjoy hitting or playing in the field better?
I mean,
I know what your answer is.
I like hitting, but fielding.
So the question for you, would you rather hit a home run or throw somebody out at second?
Depends on if he's a fast player or not.
I got you.
If he's fast, then probably throw him out. But I mean, home runs, nothing like in a home run.
Absolutely. And you play shortstop, is that right? Mm-hmm. And so would you rather make a diving catch in the hole and stand up and throw some guy out across the diamond, or would you rather hit a home run? Now these are easy questions, guys. They're only about to get harder. I got pages of them here.
I'd probably say dive in the hole and throw somebody out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, playing at shortstop, man, there's nothing better to me than when you have to go back a little bit and catch one and throw it all the way across. Man, I love seeing those plays.
It's fun.
Love seeing them. And so, well, look, we're going to be done with these two guys. I better get them off here before they say something that they're not supposed to. But we enjoy having you on every time. And going to miss seeing you two on the football field as well this year. And so we're looking forward to doing some of your baseball throughout the season. And so for you two, if we don't have you back on here, good luck this year and good luck as you go off to college. And so we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with a few more baseball players from Texas High, and we'll have Coach back on with us after these commercials.
We are back at Walk-Ons with some more Tiger baseball. And we've got Ben DePriest, Zane Dodson, and Trey Lavender.
Sir.
And guys, how do y'all feel coming into this season knowing last year's was cut so short because of COVID?
I think we all actually feel pretty good because we only lost 2 senior starters, so we're pretty strong with the group we've got coming back. So
we're really making sure that we enjoy it too, because last year it got taken away. So we're really enjoying this season, and we're grateful we get to play.
Makes you not take things for granted, don't it?
For real.
Yeah.
Because who thought your baseball season could just disappear?
Yeah, right. Like when we first turned around and went home on that one game, my dad was like, "Dang, we might actually miss 1 or 2 games. This sucks." But then we ended up getting our whole season canceled. So.
Well, what have y'all done since then to prepare for this season?
I mean, to be honest, we've all played summer ball together. We've done that since we got to we got to start.
Shoot, I don't know.
It was like the beginning of summer.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we played through. We've hit since then, pretty much every time we get the opportunity.
Even during COVID, like we were able to go up to SABA and go hit together, like while staying social distance and stuff. So it didn't really slow us 3 down that much. But
we just didn't get to play school ball.
Right.
I will say, Jay, I go to Saba a lot at night, and they're in there every time I'm in there hitting. Every single time. Just a little story about Lavender. Lavender growing up, he was always a little undersized, so we'd play them or something, and we'd hit a ball hard to second base. I don't know what he plays now, but that's what he played then. And, man, he killed us defensively, man. He was always all out all the time.
Thank
and
you.
a story about DePriest right here, man. He went to Florida with us and played a World Series. And I knew Ben, but not well. And I knew he was a good player, but I didn't know where he was at. Put him at leadoff. The kid hit 2 home runs and got out 1 time the whole World Series.
Yes, sir.
The whole World Series.
That was a great coaching move then, huh?
Absolutely. His grandpa was the one that told me his batting average, and I said, seriously? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I put him at leadoff just as then. He got out 1 time the whole world. Hey, at the time, he had never hit a home run, and he hit 2 home runs while we were there.
Back-to-back at bats.
Yeah.
And I may be wrong here, but was it the LSU pitcher that told the coach that he hit dingers in high school, so he let him pitch in or go ahead and hit that? Nice little story there. Now, Ben, you play left field.
Yes, sir.
I asked one of the softball girls this earlier, but what would you rather have in your hand, your glove or your bat?
Probably my bat. I really enjoy hitting, and that's probably the best thing I do. So.
And then Zane, you coming in at third base. One of the things that I discussed a little earlier is out of all the positions that I hated playing, it was any time that coach wanted me to play third. The ball comes a little quick to you there. How long have you been playing third base?
To be honest, not long. I've always played shortstop and outfield, but we have Ryan this year, and I can fill in at third base, so playing there makes it easy on the team, and I mean whatever I can do to make us better. So
how quick did you, or how quick were you able to change that arm angle to get the ball to first from third rather than short?
It's a little different. It took me a couple of games at first. Started throwing the ball a little bit to the right, away from our first baseman. A couple errors in there, but it eventually worked out pretty well.
Gotcha.
I will say, Zane, I didn't recognize you walking up. You have grown so much since I've seen you. And I figured you would, because how tall is your dad?
Like 6'5".
Yeah, his dad's like 6'5", so I knew it was coming. But, man, I didn't even recognize you, man. You turned out to be a big old guy.
Well, Trey, what position are you playing this year?
I'm playing second base. I used to play third until I was about 10, and I started playing with Frank Halter, and he moved me to second base, and pretty much been middle infield since then. So,
well, I have a feeling that's because of your range that you're able to play over there. Now, one of the good things about game day is we're able to come out and capture y'all's moments and share that with the world. There was basically a video, and I think that was put on you this past week. don't know if that was just a practice or whatever else, but you looked good. You looked good.
Thank you.
So congratulations.
He meant at baseball.
Right. Well, Ben, you're coming in as a senior. Zane, you're coming in as a senior. Are you a senior as well?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so we got 3 seniors. What are y'all hoping to leave the underclassmen after this season?
I think we just need to show them how to work, because our senior class has always been a really hard-working class, and we try to do everything right and as best as we can always. So
I feel like we've got to show them how to lead as well, because like our senior class has always been really good at every sport. So I think it'll just be important for them to learn how to lead and learn how to be on the top versus us leading them. So.
And then Zane, same question to you as far as the glove or bat. What would you rather have in your hand?
Got to be the glove. Got to be. I love throwing people out, making good plays, and pitching too. I love the deal.
Gotcha. And then what about you? Glove or bat?
Definitely the glove, because I feel like I've always just been better at fielding, and I love making a diving play or something, Now
y'all all mentioned as far as playing the travel ball. How much does that differentiate you and maybe some of the other teams that y'all go and play, and they may not have put in the time and effort to play that summer ball? I mean, are y'all seeing how much extra work that y'all put in there really pay off and be the difference maker in some games?
Definitely.
Yeah,
our chemistry is insane. I mean, playing together as long as we have, I mean, we know what we're going to do, what moves we're going to make, where the ball's going. I mean,
that off-season work's critical. I mean, if you want to take the next level, you got to do the off-season work. And all of you are from what I've seen do it. So I preach to my boys, hey, I can only do so much for y'all. Y'all got to do off-season work.
Yep.
Well, have each of you decided what you're going to do after high school?
I'm going to play baseball at Ouachita Baptist.
OBU, nice.
Undecided.
Okay.
I'm going to Arkansas to be a full-time student.
Gotcha.
You did get a baseball offer, though, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I had originally committed to Cameron University in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Okay.
But with all this COVID stuff, and it was in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma, I just felt like a good move for me was to go to Arkansas.
I had just had the same situation with Drew. How he's up there in New York, and you know how it is up there, and I just brought him home, and he's going to end up playing for A&M this coming. He's going to pick back up in the fall for him.
Good deal.
Well, guys, we appreciate you joining us tonight, and always welcome to come back a little bit later in the season. I know there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on y'all this year, some expectations, so there may be a little pressure on the shoulders, but I'm sure y'all can carry that on, and wish y'all the best. And we're going to take a quick break and come back with the last segment. are back at walk-ons and wishing the best for Morgan Smith. He could not be here tonight.
What were you saying about him before the game on?
I'm just glad that he's at home. Just glad that he's at home. Because if you're sick, that's where you need to be.
Exactly right.
Take a sick day.
That's right.
We'll still pay you. And Brian, if it come out of his part of it.
That's right.
Well, guys, it's been fun tonight to be able to talk to the young players, and I'm quite impressed with the whole group that I listened to and got to talk to tonight. Coach, how do you feel being able to coach the young men that you do?
Well, I enjoy what I do. Every year is a challenge. You've got a different set of ability. You've got a different set of personalities, and what you kind of feed off those guys and what you try to do is what they're good at. Some teams you've got to be extremely tough on. Some teams you just kind of let them go. But we've got the 5 guys that was on here plus Caden Miller. They're all seniors, and they know what's expected. They know how to participate. They know how to compete. So you just let those guys go. Of course, we have to pull the reins back on them sometime, but I'd rather do that than have to try to kick them to get them going. So it's been a pleasure.
What position do you have Caden playing?
Right, he's been playing right field.
Right field?
And, of course, I know he's going to college to play football, but he's one of those guys, he's just athletic.
Competes.
And he fights, and if he hits a ground ball back to the pitcher, he is going to run it 100 miles an hour at first base.
This might surprise you. Growing up, he played catcher a lot.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but he's been a big surprise for us, honestly. Of course, his last year's junior year, he was kind of heavily, a little bit more involved in track, so we didn't see him a whole heck of a lot, but this year he's been all in.
Don't tell Caden I said this, but I don't ever remember him being particularly that fast. But
I'll tell you, he really has improved athletically.
And what he'll do is he'll play some of the game for us, and then he'll go run the 300 hurdles for the track team and then come right back to us.
He's very coachable, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is.
He's a great kid.
I love being around him.
Well, one of the things that always impresses me about a baseball team, and I'm going to give this accolade to you, but anytime that you can see a high school team with 6 seniors on a baseball team, because normally that attrition starts coming in and you only end up having 2 or 3. I mean, what do you associate that to besides, I'm going to say, good coaching?
Well, I think it all goes back to they really don't care who gets the credit. I mean, we've got some really good players, but at the end of the day, if you get 2 hits and I don't get any hits, but I moved a runner over, I think that's what, at the end of the day, as long as the Tigers win, I think that's what really motivates and pushes them. And these guys have played baseball and football growing up since they were 5 or 6, 7 years old. So, you always kind of want your baseball team about 50-50, about 4 or 5 seniors and 4 or 5 underclassmen. But this year I think we've got 6 guys that we can depend on, and, hopefully we'll go out and have a successful rest of the season.
And I think Coach McClure and his staff, I get to see a lot of practices. I go to all the games, and I think what they do really well is celebrate those little things. Because you may look at, you see the game day post, and you see all of the social media post, and you just see the guys that hit the home runs or the guys that go 3 for 4 or whatever. But when you celebrate all of those little things, everybody comes together as a team, and they do whatever they got to do for the end goal of winning the game.
The little things are what win the game.
That's
There's
exactly
no
right.
doubt.
Yeah. So, Coach, what do y'all have coming up the rest of this week or looking down the road? Where's your next game?
Well, we don't look too far down the road, but our next game will be a home game at 7 o'clock at Tiger Field. We're playing Sulphur Springs. They got off to kind of a little rough start, but they are 2-0 in district. And I think at any level, once you get in a district, the playing field kind of evens out a little bit because everybody's going to throw either their best pitcher or their number 2 pitcher. Right. And Sulphur Springs, they beat, in my opinion, a really good Longview team last Tuesday. And then last night they beat Mount Pleasant. So they'll be coming to town, and they're always Texas High and Sulphur Springs as long as I've been here. It's always a really good ball game. So they're coming in at 2-0, so that'll be a tough one. And then looking ahead to next week, not that we're looking ahead, but what's on the schedule next. Going into the season, I thought the 2 biggest competitors would be Longview and Hallsville. And we have Hallsville on Tuesday, followed by Longview on Friday. So that's the next 3 games, and they'll all be big for us, but we're going to take one game at a time.
Absolutely. And so, Coach, we appreciate you being with us tonight and bringing some of your guys up here. We won't hold it against you that some of them didn't look so well on camera. We'll see if we can work with some of this lighting next
I'll tell you, I was more nervous with my son with a microphone than I was when I get up here for sure.
I think they all did good.
We couldn't tell which one was you and which one was your son.
Yeah, somebody texted me and said, y'all had the same kid on there twice. But no, it's always a pleasure to have the Tiger King himself with us. And a rare appearance during baseball season because he's always out watching a baseball game somewhere. So,
well, we appreciate Texarkana Gameday for all their coverage of us for sure.
Absolutely.
And man, this deal is so fun to get on and see some of the things because of Texarkana Gameday, not just about Texas High, but about the whole community.
I agree.
Yeah. And
hey guys, one thing I'm enjoying is that every school in town is putting up numbers right now. Every team in town is winning, so it don't matter what ball field you're at. Everybody's playing good baseball. So,
And so, well, we're going to wrap things up here. We appreciate Coach Hatfield from the Texas High softball team and his players that he brought in tonight. Coach McClure, we appreciate you for coming and bringing your guys with us. And we had a good night. Taken over by Texas High Orange tonight.
There you go.
So we're pumped up to see what the rest of the season brings and go out and catch some area baseball. We've got Texas High playing here at home, and they've got a big week coming up next week also. And so get out and catch some area baseball. Go to Texarkana Gameday on Facebook. We'll try to keep you updated with all of the upcoming games for all of the teams here in Texarkana. And we will live stream as many games as we can possibly get out to with as many people as we have. And so until next Wednesday, for all of us here in Texas High and for Texarkana Gameday, we'll see you next week.
Go Tigers.
Thank you.